Listen to this very carefully. This may be the most important video I have ever posted. I'm serious about that. I'm actually in a hotel in Melbourne, Australia, but this was so important I wanted to record it even before I got back home to California. If you're experiencing tremendous pressure, stress, it could be financial, you don't have enough money, things aren't working out for you in your life, listen very carefully. This is what they should have taught us in elementary school, junior high, high school. This is what our parents should have taught us. I don't know your background, but I didn't grow up with a perfect background. I didn't grow up with, I was born to a single mom. My dad was in prison, lived my teenage years, a lot of them in a mobile home. And so what I'm about to tell you is like literally what I've spent my life up to this point learning from 5 millionaire mentors, learning from traveling the world, building businesses, learning from talking, a lot of it through social media with millions of people and interacting with this world about health, wealth, love, and happiness. Look, if you do not have a roadmap to success, I can pretty much predict your future. People always come to me, Ty, I want to be successful. I'm like, answer a few questions, I'm going to predict your future. Who'd you learn from? Who are you learning from now? Tell me about your upbringing. Those 3 basic questions, I can predict the future. People don't like to hear that because they're like, no, I'm special, Ty, I'm special. Man, once you step out the door, like Chris Rock, the comedian, says, once you step out the door of your house, nobody cares about you. There's a big, bad world out there. If you're broke, nobody's going to put money in your bank account for you. Maybe you win the lottery, you be one of the billion. Are you going to hold out for that? No, I'm going to give you a formula. I'm going to give you what I call the 12 foundations. There's 12 things they should have taught us in school. 12 things. 0 was taught in school. Literally 0. 3 things about health, 3 things about wealth, 3 things about love, and 3 things about happiness. These 12 things, if I had known them when I was 19 years old, graduated high school, my life would be 10 times better than it is now. And I have an okay life now. If you're struggling, you must learn these 12 foundations. You must. It's not even optional. It's basically like, here's your 2 paths in life. Life can suck, or you can follow the 12 foundations. Now, some people go, oh, well, there's people succeeding in life, and do they know about these 12 foundations? Well, they're doing them without knowing it. Everybody who follows the 12 foundations has a badass life, and all the 12 that don't. It's that the people that don't follow the 12 don't. It's literally that simple. Why can I say it that black and white? Well, and how do I know it's exactly 12? Well, maybe it's 16, maybe it's 8. The point is, you ever heard of the book, 7 Habits of Highly Successful People? That's about business, the 7 habits of highly successful people. But life's not only about business and making money. You got to know how to read people. You have to know psychology. You have to know health, right? You have to know happiness, managing anxiety, procrastination, regret, all that stuff. That's why I say it's more than 7. So I've compiled it down into 12 things. Let me go over some of them. I don't know if I have time to do all 12. To really explain all 12 takes a little while. Probably take at least 12 hours. I don't have that much time right now, and you probably don't either. Let's start with money. So basically, one of the foundations is you have to know how to pick your career, period. Now, for some of you, your career, like me, is to be an entrepreneur, run your own business. Some of you, it's to work for somebody else. That doesn't even matter at this point in the juncture. One of the 12 foundations, maybe the most fundamental foundation, is selecting your occupation. You will spend the majority of your life in some sort of occupation. Okay? If you work 8 hours a day, no other single activity, not marriage, not time with your kids, time with your friends, watching football, whatever. Nothing compares with career, and there's basically 0 preparation. So people just grow up and they're like, oh, my dad worked for the post office, I'll do that. Or they stumble into a job. Oh, I need money, so I'm gonna drive Uber and then this. And they just like kind of randomly go from thing to thing. Even entrepreneurs, I see it. Even entrepreneurs making big money, they don't like what they do because they just randomly chose. They're like, oh, it looks like that'll make me money. My friend sells clothes online. I'll sell clothes online. I don't really care about clothes, but I'll do it to make money. That's the wrong way to do it. There's an exact formula, okay? And it's basically like you can draw concentric circles, and you have to find where all these intersect. Strengths, your background. You can use some cognitive quizzes and things like this, and you can use but let me just go back to that thing about strengths. See, people get very delusional about what their strengths are. Like, oh, Ty, I'm good at everything, so I don't know what career I should do. It's not what you think you're strong at. It's relative to other people. So I'm good at basketball compared to somebody who's worse than me, but relative to pro basketball players, I'm not good enough to play. And so one of the things they should have taught us in school, and one of the 12 foundations that I had to learn over many years, because I've started different businesses. My first business was in agriculture, grass-fed beef, first business. Had a consulting business. I owned nightclubs all around North Carolina. I invested in real estate, still do, real estate investor. I started a wealth management company that's still going, 6,000 clients, manage money for individuals. I did obviously a lot of internet stuff and social media. I own a company called Mentor Box, which we just signed a contract with Walmart. We have the largest nonfiction book shipping company in the world. So I've done all these businesses. And yet, in hindsight, I could have gotten to where I am 10 times faster if someone had taught me the 12 foundations. So I just want to tell you the good news and the bad news. The good news is if you're under tremendous pressure, stuff seems to not be working out for you, the good news is there's light at the end of the tunnel if you go down the right tunnel. There is a solution. There is a better day for you. I've seen it. I've been broke, and then all of a sudden I've made $1 million in a day. I made $1 million in an hour before. And I've been completely broke, sleeping on a couch in a mobile home. So I've been on both ends of the spectrum. I can tell you there's light at the end of the tunnel. But when you go down the wrong tunnel, which is what most people are being led down in this modern world, it's only darkness there. People go, oh, things will get better. No, if you go down the wrong tunnel, there's no light. So I got to and this is the reason I'm recording this, is I get about 10,000 snaps, Instagram DMs, all that per day. And I see, man, that people are hurting. Twitter. I posted a Twitter and it was like controversial. I said, if you're not traveling 4 times a year, like you're missing out on one of life's greatest pleasures. And people were like, but Ty, we're broke. We can't even travel once in 10 years. And so I feel the pain of the world. So I was like, I gotta lay this out simpler. Not everybody has time. I've spent I started when I was a teenager as an entrepreneur, traveling the world, learning from mentors, reading books, and experimenting with my own businesses. And I've been lucky enough to meet some of the greatest minds in the world, billionaires, top entrepreneurs, people that have reached the top. And I've asked them this same question, and that's how I came up with this 12 foundations. So like I said, the 12 foundations, there's 3 things you got to know about health. There's 3 things you have to know about wealth. There's 3 things you have to know about love, friends, family, romance. And there's 3 things you have to know about happiness. If you can keep these 12 things as your central guide to life from today forward, I promise you this. You will revolutionize your life so much that when your friends meet you 6 months from now, 12 months from now, you will be unrecognizable in every area. Health, wealth, love, and happiness. I know how to make money. Like I said, I've made $1 million in an hour. But if you don't have the other 3 things, health, love, and happiness, then it's all empty. On the other side, I've had love before, but no money. And then you're so stressed out. What's the number 1 cause of divorce? Financial stress. And I've seen people who have love and who have wealth and even have health. They got a 6-pack, but they have massive anxiety. Or depression even, because depression can come even with all those other things. So you got to manage all 4 of these things. And each of them, like I said, I divide into 3. So 4, 8, 4, 8, 12. 3. Blah, blah. 3, 6, 9, 12, right? There's 4 things with 3 inside of them. My math. I am shocked as I look back on my life and go, I didn't know those 3. I didn't know those 3. I didn't know those 3. And I knew those 3. So I knew like 3 out of 12. There was 9 things missing in my life. So life kind of sucked. Then there was a time when it was even worse. I only had 3 of them. I was young. I was healthy. But I had no wealth. I didn't have the 3 foundations of wealth in my life. I didn't have the 3 social ones, love, romance, we could say, friends, and family wasn't working right. I had a messed up family. Friendships weren't right. I was friends with the wrong people. Social life was messed up. And I've had all 9 and not the last 3. Happiness, overcoming anxiety, procrastination, regret, depression. How do you actually be happy? Because really the 12 foundations, like the first 9 are just building for the 12th, the 10th, 11th, and 12th. So you got a choice. Life's at a crossroads at every moment. Like I said, there's light at the end of the tunnel, but the whole world's going down the road, the wrong tunnel. How many people do you know that really have the 12 foundations operating in their life? You look at them physically, they're healthy, they're fit, they're eating right, they're sleeping, they feel good physically. They take pride in their body, they look good. They got the 3 pillars of wealth going, right? They're in the right career or entrepreneurship activity. They selected correctly. They have active investment and passive investment, because those are 2 different things. So active investment is like you're making money with, let's say, your job or your entrepreneurial job, right? Career. Passive investment is while you sleep, money's being made for you in real estate, in the stock market, maybe in cryptocurrency, the new thing, right? So how many people do you know that have those 3? Health, the 3 parts of health, which is basically diet, weights or resistant training, and all the supplement side of things. They have that, so their body's good. Their bank account's good, the next 3. Then you go to the next 3. Friends, family, romance. All 3 of those are rock and rolling. You look at them, they got the best dating life or marriage. They've got the best friendship, social circle, best business partners, their relationship. They've weeded out the bad people. It's just like amazing. And then on top of that, they got the last 3, of the 12 foundations. The last 3 are like, they take all the first 9 and they just make them beautiful. The happiness side of things, where people just like, I've had different times in my life, man. Literally, I've had times. I remember good years and bad years. Like 2011 was a crappy year. I didn't like 2011. I had weird things with business partners. Didn't see eye to eye. I remember waking up and feeling stressed. Then I worked on those 3 of the 12 foundations, and I remember, amazingly, like revolutionizing and waking up so peaceful and happy. That's the ultimate test, by the way. When you wake up, do you feel stressed? Is your mind racing? Like I just woke up and I was just like, I feel good. But it didn't last, because I didn't understand, even at that time in 2012-ish, around then, I didn't understand. It was kind of luck that those 3 of the 12 foundations were operating in my life. You have to have a system. It's almost like a daily routine. You got to have the correct daily routine, the correct mental routine. Now, some people say, well, Ty, what you're talking about is all about the mind. This is all in the mind. Well, the 12 foundations aren't just about the mind. They're also about income and making money and filling up your bank account and, your body. They're like practical things too. But yeah, like most of human life is in the mind. There's people who are millionaires and billionaires and who commit suicide. One of the wealthy, De Beers, the guy who started the diamond company, one of the wealthiest people in history. When he sold the De Beers company, the diamond company, he jumped off a boat, committed suicide. The guy who started Victoria's Secret, now one of the biggest brands in the world, he jumped off the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco. I'm telling you, I know people that are wealthy but so fat, they can't enjoy it. They lost their health. They can't even fit in a Ferrari. I know people that are so happy up and they got great love life, but their bank account sucks, so they're always stressed. Like the 12 foundations, mark my words, one day, this is what will be taught in schools. This is what will be taught in universities. Not because I've compiled these 12 things. Like they'll probably be transformed and people will put their own modifications. But I'm telling you, you are witnessing this video, and I wanted to record it because I wanted to mark this day and say, let me hand you the 12 foundations, because I can think of no greater gift that I could give myself if I had a time machine. If I was 19 again, man, I go back, give myself this video I'm here in Melbourne, Australia. I was speaking at a conference with Arnold Schwarzenegger. And if I could just hand this video to myself and then give myself like 12 hours of training, like 1 hour per video, roughly. 1 hour per foundation. That's it. That's like what I would do. I would do that more than give myself business tips, more than give myself $1 million to invest in my own business. Once you get the mindset right, things start to fall in place. And if the mindset's not right, nothing works. You need the 12 foundations. 3 about health, 3 about wealth, 3 about love, 3 about happiness. I wonder why I didn't record these 12. Yesterday I was recording the video training for one of the 12 foundations, and I was talking to my cousin, and I was like, I'm almost depressed recording this. She's like, why? I'm like, because why didn't someone tell me this? I was recording about controlling your social circle, how to build your social circle correctly. You know the saying that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Your income's the average of the 5 people that are closest to you in your social circle, all that. And I was like, why didn't they tell us that in school? Like, why was I learning geometry? Like, geometry is good, but how about the geometry of my social circle? Why was I learning pre-calculus and calculus and algebra? Why didn't they teach me, like, how to invest in the stock market or invest in real estate? That's math, but it's practical. It applies. The 12 foundations, these apply to, and they will begin to change your life today and this week. For those of you that start watching the 12 foundational, it will begin to change you. You can watch, if you have time, you can watch all 12 in 1 week. I guarantee you, you're going to be like me. You're going to be happy and depressed at the same time. Happy because all of a sudden your life starts to change. Your income starts to change. You start to do what you love and make money doing it and make more money doing it. Your social circle starts to improve. Your love life starts to improve. Your body starts to improve. You wake up happier, less stressed, less depressed. So on that side, you're going to be like jumping for joy. On the flip side, you're going to start to have a little bit of anger. I'll talk about that in the training. How to deal with the anger where you want to look at your family and friends and teachers and say, wait, you said you cared about me. How come you didn't teach me? How come some guy on social media recording from his hotel room in Australia is the first person to lay this out in just this simple, systematic way, transformational way? I'm going to tell you this right now. I'll give a little hint. Just forgive them. No one taught them. I've had to do that and just go, man, it's BS. But you know what? Live and let live. Just move on and be glad that you learned it now. Now, here's the deal. I recorded the 67 steps in 2014, which are 67 things that my mentors taught me. It was my first kind of attempt at a mindset program for people. The crazy thing is it became one of the most downloaded courses in history. I haven't looked recently, I'd say close to 200,000 people, close to 250,000 people went through that program. To put that in perspective, like in California, I live near UCLA, 250,000 people, like I think UCLA has like 20 or 30,000 undergrad students. That's like 10 years worth of students going through undergrad at big universities. So a lot of people went through it in 90 countries. And I was walking in the streets here of Melbourne, Australia. People come up to me literally every day and say the 67 steps like was the biggest thing, changed their life, blah, blah, blah. But I didn't completely have all the 12 foundations in it. So this 12 foundations is like the better version of the 67 steps. It's not better. They're different. Let me be clear on that. The 12 foundations, I know a lot more. I built the 67 steps in 2014. And I've gone through a lot in the last, years and tested a lot and reached a lot more. I reach about 200 million people a year through social media. So I've had more interactions with people. I had more ability to test. I built bigger and bigger businesses. Forbes named me the top 10 business influencer in the world. Entrepreneur last year named me the #1 social media influencer in the world, business influencer in the world. And so I'm not saying that to hold myself out as something special. I'm just saying, like, I've been able to reach more stuff. And this 12 Foundations program, I wanted to kind of model after how I built the 67 steps. And so, let me plug this in, by the way. My phone's going to die. Get my handy little brick here. Plug this bad boy in. Excuse me. This is like the 67 steps. The way that program worked, it was a paid program. It was way cheaper than university and college and high school tax dollars, all that money. But I wanted to make it a paid program, the 67 steps, because I've learned if people ain't if they're not willing to invest in themselves, this stuff doesn't work. So I've given away almost 2 billion minutes of YouTube and Facebook videos, and it gets results, but not as much as the people who go in paid programs, which makes sense. Like I've had, when someone gives me a book versus when I spend $30 on it, like I read the book that I paid $30 for. And some people say, oh, you're just saying that because you want people's money. Not really. This is not going to be a big part of my income. I have literally 20 sources of income right now. Okay, this is not me trying to get another one. This is me going, what works for you? What works for you? And I'm telling you, becoming a learning machine and a person who invests in themselves works. I invest at least $100,000 a month in my own education. Literally 100 G's a month. Not a year. I got a CPA, back that number up. I've shown it. It's obvious too if you watch my Snapchat. Traveling, mentors, coaches, consultants that I pay. And I've been doing that for years. And it's funny, the more I invest in myself, every year my income's gone up massively. And people go, oh, well, I'm not going to pay for stuff. I'm just going to Google it. Well, go ahead. But I'm telling you, there is a magic in investing in yourself. People get it. Invest in real estate's good. Oh, okay. I do that. Invest in the stock market. That's good. I buy land. I invest in buy businesses. It's all good. But nothing touches the ROI on investing in my own brain. So here's how this 12 foundation works if you want to go in. I've created a test group. If you're watching this video here early, you are literally one of the first people in the world to see this. You can come in the test group. I did the test group about a year and a half ago for my social media marketing agency. About 30,000 people have gone through that. One of the first people to go through, he made $1.2 million in his first year. So I know the power of test groups. Small group, let them in, get your feedback, let you be in the beta program of this thing working, okay? So the 12 foundations, I'm gonna put a button below or above. You click that, you get in, there's a fee to get in, and it'll be all explained on the page. For some of you, you won't wanna pay the money, don't go in the test group. It's not a big deal to me, literally. I'm telling you, I'm looking out of 100 million people, 200 million people who watch my social media, I'm looking for a teeny group that are like committed and go, whatever it takes, I'm gonna change my life. If it means, I don't go out to sushi this weekend, so be it. If it means I won't buy a $400 pair of designer jeans or $100, $200 like pair of shoes, that's all right. I'll sacrifice that in order to get something in here. Now, some people go, oh, was this a scam? Like you're gonna pay for an online course? I'd never do that. Well, it's kind of like a textbook. Textbooks are a couple $100. And, or a regular book. I mean, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, I think 50 million people or 25 million people have bought that book. People have spent $250 million on that book. How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Sold millions and millions of copies. You're talking $100 million worth humans have invested in their brain with that book. This is the same thing. I just use videos because they're like books, but I can get them to you quickly and I can update them if something's wrong and I don't have to go through a third-party publisher and I don't have to be politically correct. I can tell you because some of these 12 foundations are going to be shocking for you. When I get in, like I said, so we're going to talk about wealth. This is the first foundation, health, wealth, love, happiness. We're going to focus on wealth and income because there's already a lot of people teaching you how to be physically healthy. But not a lot of people teaching about your income. Active income, passive income, real estate, building businesses, marketing, building your brand, how to choose a company, how to start your own business, how to do a part-time business while you keep your full-time business, how to invest your money passively, meaning you invest and other people grow your money while you sleep, how to build recurring income. All those things are foundations in the 12 foundations. And we're talking about social circle, how to read people. You know the book How to Win Friends and Influence People? More important. That was written, I don't know, 30s or 40s. A long time ago, almost 100 years ago. This is the updated version. It's how to read people. See, you don't want to win friends and influence the wrong people. You got to know how to read people. Practical psychology, negotiation, weeding out, controlling your social circle, whether it be in dating, business partnerships, friends. If you don't get this right, nothing works. Nothing works. We're going to talk about happiness, specific things, overcoming stress, anxiety, procrastination, knowing how to motivate yourself. Remember how I said one of the biggest foundations is like the number one, picking the right career. The other one is knowing what motivates you. That's how you overcome procrastination. Most people procrastinate because they don't feel confident that what they're doing really motivates them. If it really motivated you, you wouldn't procrastinate. It's like a 14-year-old kid that the mom and dad can't get the kid to do anything, but the kid's motivated to play video games. The kid will ride his bike across town to buy a video game and come back. So there's motivation there. The parents just don't know how to find it. And as you grow, you have to know how to find deep within yourself that motivation. And once you have motivation, you have no problem with procrastination. My first mentor, Joel Salatin, I'm not a procrastinator in many ways because he taught me at 19 one of the 12 foundations, which is how to motivate myself. People say, do you really read a book a day? How do you do all this stuff? I see you on Snapchat. And now I get a lot. My Snapchat and Instagram stories are in the millions per day, people watching them. I get a lot of feedback, and people are like, and I'm going, I was blessed by a mentor giving me one of these. But he didn't give me all the 12 foundations, but he gave me that one. He gave me a few. Well, that was a big one. I want to pass that on to you. So the way it works, you click the link. As quickly as you enter your card info, card numbers approved, you're in. You're going to get 12 videos plus a whole bunch of bonuses, okay? But I want to talk about the 12 foundations first because that's the core part of what you're getting. Very simple. You download them on your phone. You can watch them on your phone. You can watch them on your laptop. You can download them and listen to them later, audio, while you're jogging or riding exercise bike or treadmill. You listen to those 12 videos. They're on average about 1 hour. So it's about 12 hours worth of stuff. You can do it in 1 week if you want. You can spread it out over a month, but don't take a year. Don't do like one a month. That's too slow. Okay? Then there's ongoing training, weekly training, live training. There's a private Facebook group I've made so you can access me and other people in the group and grow together and network. But those 12 foundations, those 12 videos are the game changer. And the cool thing is, as I add new things, I can just swap out the videos. So it's a dynamic, living and breathing course. It's like this book, but imagine I can pull the pages out and put better pages in without having to republish and resend the book. That's what the 12 foundations are. This is the culmination of everything that I've learned, everything I wish I had been told on health, wealth, love, and happiness. Building that. How do you build wealth? They don't teach us in school. We're all broke and struggling until we find out. And you know what? You don't have to do the 12 foundations. It took me since I was a teenager to learn this stuff. You can just spend that many years. You can spend over a decade. You can spend however many years you want. But I want to give you a shortcut. Let's cut the learning curve by 10 years. I don't care if you're already 70 years old. I don't care if you're 12 years old. That doesn't matter. If you're young, the advantage is, well, you learn this early, and look, oh man, if I could have learned this at 12, I'd give all my wealth to learn the 12 foundation. Every penny I've ever earned and will earn for the next 3 years, let's say. That's a lot of money. That's in the hundreds of millions. But I would give that all to be 12 years old again and have these 12 videos you're about to get access to. I know that sounds dramatic, and it isn't. Because I could do 10 times more and 10 times faster. It's not just how much you accomplish that you love in life. It's how quickly you can do it. You don't want to be 90 years old with the keys to the kingdom. You don't want to be 90 years old and buy your first Ferrari or whatever. It's not about, I just use Ferrari because it's like a metaphor. You want to be happy at 90? You want to find love at 90? You want to find health at 90? You want to build your bank account by 90? Forget that. Life's too short, man. Life to me, people are like, why do you read a book a day? I got 4 books that I'm reading simultaneously trying to get through these while I'm in Australia. I finished that one. Oh, no, this is one I didn't actually. History one, sales one, all the Pulitzer Prize winning one. Because I'm trying to cut the freaking learning curve. The ticker, tick-tock of life is going, man. I'm worried about this world. I'm worried about myself when I deviate from the 12 foundations. Actually, me creating the 12 foundations, creating this over 12 hour video training program is also been one of the most important things I've ever done, because it's forced me to be disciplined in laying out what those 12 things are and holding myself to that standard. I deviate from it. I'm a human. I'm as mortal as anybody. I make as many mistakes as anybody. The difference is, remember I said there's light at the end of the tunnel? If you get yourself going down the right tunnel, even if you make mistakes, you're still going in the right direction. You can be a wonderful person with the best intentions. If you're headed in the wrong direction down the wrong tunnel, there's no light there. There's no end game. There's no winning. I'm telling you, I'm concerned. I am genuinely concerned that the majority, if not 99% of people in this world, are not going to get what they want out of life. They're going to die, like Thoreau said in the 1800s. The mass of men lead lives of quiet desperation. What is called resignation is confirmed desperation. Resignation, desperation is up to a maximum in the world. Look around you, man. How many people do you know are thriving? They love their life, every area, and they're not delusional. They're not just saying that because they're embarrassed, but like, because sometimes when I was broke, I'd be like, no, everything's good, because I didn't want to admit. I was like, no, money doesn't matter at all, because I was tricking myself. I was trying to fool myself and others into thinking that some of the 12 foundations weren't important. They're all important. The 3 foundations of health, the 3 foundations of wealth, the 3 foundations of love, the 3 foundations of happiness. Do not leave any of those out of your life. And some of you are entrepreneurs making a lot of money, and I meet you and I'm like talking to you and I'm going, they're missing half the 12 foundations. They ain't going nowhere. I don't care how much money. You know how many people I've made millionaires? I'm not trying to brag. Do you know how many people? I'm literally in the process of compiling I call my 300 group. It's more than 300, but it's hard to reach everyone. I'm flying them all into my house. The first 300 that I'm documenting. But not all of them are on the right track. That's why I created the 12 foundations for those people. If you're one of those people that I've helped make 6 figures, 7 figures, even 8 figures, go in the 12 foundations. And some people go, well, I'm not going to spend that kind of money, Ty. I'm just not going to. Well, what are you going to spend the money on? I don't understand. Sometimes, well, Ty, I got to pay the bills. I got to pay rent. Well, yes, you do. To make somebody else rich. I get it. You're just like the massive people. They pay their rent. The landlord takes the money and builds wealth because you're paying off the building for them. Or you got to pay your mortgage. I know. And Bank of America or Wachovia or Chase Bank, HSBC, they're making interest on you. You're making them wealthy. That's the problem. People go, well, Ty, I got bills to pay. Well, cut some of the bills. Keep some money every month aside to invest in your brain. I started in 2001 putting $500 investment into my own brain. I bought a course by Corey Rudel. It transformed my life. In 9 months, I went from zero, literally, well, I had about $500 saved up. I put it all into this course, but basically zero. I went to making 6 figures, almost on autopilot. Like I had I had about $6,000 to $10,000 a month coming in within 9 months of investing in my own brain. In 2001, I was one of the first people to use Google Ads. It's called AdWords. I was one of the first people. I wouldn't have known about that. I was a kid living in a mobile home before that. You think I would have learned about marketing? I would have learned how to go online and make money online in 2001? No, it's because I invested in my brain and I caught a trend before most people. I got an angle. I got an edge. I got a competitive advantage. If you don't have that, you ain't going nowhere fast. You're going to get caught in the crowd, and the crowd's going to hold you back. Get every competitive edge and angle you have, even if you have to pay for it, even if you have to pay. When you click this button, I'm not apologizing. People get mad at me. There's a group of people online that are mad that I charge money, and I'm like, I'm over it. Then don't buy it. It's a free world. Free country, man. Buy whatever you want. Those same people that complain about that, you know what they buy? They go into McDonald's. One of the wealthiest corporations in the world, $28 billion. They're eating junk food. They're eating fast food. Everybody spends money. I'm not even making fun of them for eating fast food. Sometimes I eat fast food. I'm not perfect health. This isn't about perfection. My point being, your money is going to flow out of your bank account somewhere. Why not divert some of it into your own brain? I'm not trying to get rich off you. I'm opening a small test group of people who are serious. Jaden Gross was in my test group of the SMMA program. He's now, second year, he's 22. He's on track. He thinks he'll be making $10 million this year. Last year, he made $1.2 million and netted over $400,000. He went from zero income, never had a bank account, never filed a tax return, to now filing with the IRS in the U.S. for pay taxes at I think $400,000 or $500,000 or something. I'm not sure his exact tax return, but the point is, if you make that much, you're in the 99.99% of the world because of what I showed him how to do. I showed him step by step. I didn't even give him the 12 foundations. Jaden, if you're watching, make sure you get in the 12 foundations because this is the whole plan here. I just gave you some of it, my friend. Those of you who are in my dropshipping course, how to make money online, or all the other programs, real estate investing, I want you to know, you just got some of it. This 12 foundations is all of it. This is all I know. This is it. If this is my last video and I die, I hope I leave. This is what I want to leave to the world. Honestly, you know, this is what I want. I don't have kids right now. So, you know, this is what I want to leave to the world. This is like this 12 foundations, as I told you at the beginning of the video, to me is the most important thing that I've ever done. And maybe it's the most important thing I ever will do. To give you the 12 foundations to build your life, train you in them. Now, you don't have to come to me. You can get the videos, download them, put a headset on, or watch them. Pay close attention, take notes. 12 videos, about 1 hour each. Some are a little longer, some are a little shorter. It averages out to roughly 12 hours. Then you'll see when you click the button, there's bonuses, there's advanced training, there's all this other stuff. But the 12 foundations, get the 12 foundations. And then I'll give you a little exercise to begin to put them in place and practice in your life. And as you do that, health is going to start falling in place. Well, now you might already be healthy, so some of that stuff might not be relevant to you. Work on the 12 foundations that you're the weakest on. You can skip around. Do the wealth ones. If you're already wealthy, do the ones on happiness or love. Now, people go, Ty, who are you to think you'll know all these things? I don't. A lot of what you'll learn about social circle is from my mentor, Dr. David Buss. He was a professor at Harvard. Now he's a professor at University of Texas, Austin. He wrote the textbook on evolutionary psychology. Him along with the top scientists in the world. This isn't just me making up stuff. Say, oh, Ty, who are you? How do you know about real estate investing in this and wealth and building businesses and that? Well, I've had some of the best mentors in the world. I'm lucky enough now to call, friends or acquaintances with some of the most powerful business people ever to live. I've interviewed them. I've talked to them. I'm partners with some of them in business. I'm going to give you what they tell me behind closed doors. You think all these people are going to give this stuff out? Dr. David Buss, I pay him. He's a paid consultant. He's not going to just reveal all this stuff. These business billionaires and millionaires, you think they're just going to go around and make YouTube videos? They don't make any YouTube videos. They don't make any. They sometimes wonder why I do it. And I'm like, well, I have a different upbringing than you. A lot of them, some of them inherited their money. Some of them had parents that gave them businesses and things like that. I didn't have that. And I'm telling you, there was a point in my life where I said, I prayed to God. I'm not super religious. I prayed to God. I said, if you help me out of this, if you bring me mentors that help me, I will share this one day with the world. And this is me. And that's what I've been doing on my free YouTube videos. And those reach a lot of people. Facebook videos. But more importantly, I want that small test group. I love the movie 300. You seen that movie? 300 Spartans. They were better than a whole army. And I know how to reach a lot of people, but I want to reach a few of you. And if this appeals to you, you'll know. If this doesn't appeal to you, just close this video. You shouldn't even be watching this far. This isn't for everybody. I'm not trying to maximize sales and profits and do a marketing and get a landing page that you're going to be ultimately convinced by and buy. That's not what I care about. Give me a small handful of people who get it, who are committed. Give me 300 people, you change the world. It's a ripple effect. Give me 300 people who have mastered the 12 foundations of health, wealth, love, and happiness. And like that ripple effect will begin to change the world. People are always talking about who's the president and wars and crimes and mass shootings. I don't know how to fix all of those, but I'm going to tell you one of the best ways. I don't know the whole answer, but I'm going to tell you one of the most common sense ways. Get a ripple effect going. Pay it forward. A small group of people have transformed their lives from rags to riches. Let them pass on the story to a few people, to 300 people that they know. And those 300 to 300, and this next thing you know, the whole world has changed. And maybe I'm naive on that, and people go, that's never going to happen. I don't know. I've seen it start to happen, and it's bigger than me. It's big. This is bigger than me. This 12 Foundations is bigger than me. Yes, I've compiled it for you. I put in some of my own original stuff. I've taken some of what my mentors have taught me. But I've made this, you know, if you went around the world and tried to find this, it would be like 200 hours. It'd be too complicated. The biggest task that I've accomplished for you is to make this easy to remember, easy to learn, and easy to put in practice so that you won't procrastinate, so that you won't invest in another book, another course, another video, and it not work. This will work. All I need from you is a commitment to take it seriously and listen to 12 videos or listen to 12 audios or watch the 12 videos, your choice, video or audio. You do that, and I'll do my part. There's ongoing training. There's extra bonuses to round this whole thing out. But you listen to those 12, and all I ask of you, you don't need to thank me. I get people sending me gifts. I'm telling you, I've affected the lives, not just me, but these programs. There's other people, you know, my business partners in them. So I'm not taking the credit, but I've seen what this movement is change an incredible amount of people's lives. But it's not enough. It's not enough. It wasn't complete. And I realize that now in hindsight. And I apologize for that. But I didn't know how to do this before. And so I hope, and all I really ask is that when it begins to transform your life, not just a little change here, when it begins to transform your life, that you'll send an email. Just send me an email. Okay? ty@tylopez.com. Just saying how it changed your life. You don't even have to thank me. I'm not doing this for thanks. You paid for it. You don't have to thank me. But I want to know. I want the testimonials. Because that's one of the highlights of my day. It's cool waking up every day. I post them. You see them on my Snap and Instagram. There was literally a guy who went in one of my real estate programs who was in the test group. It's closed. You can't even get in. By the way, this group is going to close. I didn't mention that. I don't want you to feel like there's urgency and I'm trying to pressure you, but there is urgency. I closed these test groups. The real estate test groups closed. I just posted, if you saw my Snapchat or Instagram story, with his actual Facebook, so you can follow up with him to make sure I'm not lying about it. He closed a real estate deal for $144,000. He was making in the first couple months of getting in my test group in that investment program, he's making $17,000 a month. Never made any money before. He was a young guy. Now he's moving up. He just closed in it was a $144,000 deal. Profit. That's the profit side of it. I've seen this stuff work. I love waking up to the testimonials. That's what I ask from you. Send me the testimonials. That's it. You don't have to send thank you. I'm not a special person, whatever. I don't deserve, whatever. I don't even care what you think of me. But send me the truth on how this stuff changed your life, because it'll also inspire other people. A lot of people are on the fence. You might be on the edge on this. You're like, Ty, I don't know if I want to do this. I don't know if I have time. You have time. I've made it easy. Put a headset on when you're on the way to work, when you're at work on a break, when you're at lunch, when you're, brushing your teeth. Watch the videos while you're on a treadmill at the gym or at your house. Go for a walk. Go for a jog. Do it with a friend, whatever. You have the time. People say, but I don't have the money for this. Trust me, everybody has the money for the things that they want. I remember growing up, I lived next door to the projects in North Carolina. And we didn't have a lot of money. We weren't in the projects, but we were literally adjoining the projects. And I remember, man, even in the projects, people had new shoes because that's what they prioritized. So you got to change your priorities. Joel Salatin, my first mentor, used to say there's no change without a change of routine. One of the routine things you have to change is your priorities. If you make this a priority, it'll work for you. You'll find the money. If it's not a priority, you won't, and you'll procrastinate like most people. Okay? People go, one question you might have is, Ty, but how do I know this will work for me? I see it works for you and you talk about these other people, but how do I know if it worked for me? Ty, my situation is different. No, it's not. If you're a human, I don't care where you live in the world, literally this works in every continent, every country. I don't care if you're starting out poor, if you're starting out, if you're like me, you're mixed, you're white, you're black, you're Asian, this male, female, doesn't matter. Humans' DNA is all the same. Literally, DNA is almost identical from person to person. We all come from the same gene pool, basically, okay? Hopefully you didn't marry your cousin, or your mom didn't marry your cousin, but you know what I mean. This stuff works. The way you become happy, the way you become wealthy, you think it matters? Oprah Winfrey's a black woman. You think the way she built wealth is totally different than the way Elon Musk built wealth? White male? Yeah, there's some differences. There's some challenges. If you are a minority, I get it. My last name's Lopez. You don't gotta preach to me, okay? But the basic thing don't matter. It doesn't matter. One of the 12 foundations you'll learn is how to not make excuses. Yeah, life's hard. I get it. Life's real hard. And what you gonna do about it? I hope you move forward. And that's one of the foundations that you'll learn about. A little more advanced stuff than that, but that's the gist of it. So if you're thinking of getting in this, but you're held back because you don't think it'll work because of your age, you're young, you're old, you're middle age, man, enough is enough. What else are you going to do? If you're young, you want to wait 20 years to learn the secrets? If you're old, do you want to wait 20 years till you're dead? If you're middle-aged, you want to wait till you're old? I mean, I don't even get that argument, but people make it all the time. What about if you think, well, Ty, can I trust this? Can I trust you? I got a refund on the thing. Go through it. It doesn't work for you, I'll send you your money back. And you got to get the 12 foundations for free. Okay? Don't abuse this, please. But if it genuinely, whatever, you didn't think it worked, I believe in this so strongly, I'll give you 100% of your money back. What else could you want for that? This stuff works. This is the most important day of your life. I'm telling you, if you're willing to get in and actually implement it. I know that's a bold statement, but life seize the day. I'm seizing the day. Life favors the bold. Fortune favors the bold is the exact statement, but I like life because fortune sounds too much about money only. Life favors the bold. I'm being bold and you be bold too. You got to change. What you've been doing hasn't been working. You've tried books, you tried this, you tried that, all this stuff. Has it been working? Maybe it's worked on some of your life, but or all 12 foundations rocking and rolling in health, in wealth, in love, and happiness. Are you like 1 to 10? I'm a 10 in all 4 of these. That's what you got to aim for. And you might not hit a 10 in all 4, but you need to be an 8 or more out of 10 in all 4 of those areas. The 12 foundations are going to get you there. Start to fix your bank account. Start to fix your income. Start to fix your love life, happiness, social life. No more betrayal by people. No more being broke and worrying every month. No more procrastinating, anxiety. No more regret. Let's do this. Those of you who are interested, I'm not going to try to convince you anymore. I want the people that are ready to go. And if you're not, it's not your day. For those of you that it is your day, click the button. It's either above or below, depending on if you're on your phone or your laptop. As quickly as you get in, you can start learning. You can start adopting the 12 foundations. And as I said, send me that testimonial with how it transformed your life. That's all I ask. All right? Thanks so much, and I'll talk to you soon.